Good evening, everyone, or if it's morning, good morning for you, or good afternoon. I don't know where you are in the world, but I know that where I am, it's 4:23 p.m. and I am Carla from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections. And today I am talking to Wael AlSaad from Jenin, Palestine, originally, but he's in, I believe, Dusseldorf, Germany. He will explain that in a moment. And we are going to talk about his life, his work, and his passions. Having said that, I want to remind everyone the show is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. Wael, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, good time, everybody. I hope you are all right. I am all right to be with Carla this evening. About myself, I am a spiritual economist and originally from Palestine. I was born in Jenin in 1972 and grew up and went to high school in Jenin. I left Palestine for studying, and I did my study in Germany. After studying, I started working in Germany in international companies. And all the time, actually, while my heart was in Palestine, and I was always thinking about going back. And during the 17 years I spent in Germany, I was projecting anything good I see in Palestine. So we Palestinians, we are a dreamer of a better homeland. And after at a certain point, 2009, I decided to go back to Palestine, to my hometown, and I spent there 10 years. And recently, in the beginning of this year, I decided to return back to Germany. And between these timestamps, there is a lot of stories to tell, and I'm open to talk about them, but this is a general overview.
Okay, talking about the overview, let's get to it now. Let's get to know each other. So, you are originally from Palestine. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we are 8 brothers and 1 sister. I am the 4th, and we have a lot of kids in the family. And I'm the good uncle. My niece love me a lot, and we have a very good relationship as brothers. We have been taught that by our father. My father is one of the old communists who really struggled hard to change the situation when he was young. So we are inspired by our father, and he grew up us in a way to be good brothers.
Wonderful. So many brothers. How old is the oldest?
Yeah, the oldest is 52, and the youngest is is a sister. She is 27.
Wow. Are they all married now?
Not all of them. Two are not married.
Are they the youngest of the group, or?
Yeah, the two youngest.
Wow.
Yeah, the youngest is in Morocco, the youngest brother. He left Palestine as well. Yeah. And the other brothers and one sister, they are in Palestine. Two of them are not in Jenin, in one in Ramallah and the other in Nablus, and the others are in Jenin.
Now, you grew up in Jenin. Is that a small city or a big city?
It's a small city. It is around 40,000 inhabitants, but it is an ancient city. So it is a Canaanite city. It goes back in history 4,000 years. And the name is Jenin is originated from the Hebrew name and Janin. So it is a very beautiful city. It is translated to the spring of gardens.
Is that a big garden, or when you?
No,
Go on.
no, it has a lot of water. It used to have a lot of water springs, a lot of palm trees, and a lot of agriculture, a lot of orange trees, and so it was always a center. Palestine is Jenin is in the north of West Bank. So when people used to travel in from the seaside to Jerusalem, they have to pass to have to rest in Jenin, because after Jenin you will be traveling in the mountains. Okay, and that's why also Jenin is a city everyone feel welcome. It has a very positive energy of space. So people love the city, and some of them used to stay in the city while they were traveling. And this is as a people from Jenin, anyone comes now and he feels welcome. It is an awesome city. It has a special energy which is inherited from the history of the city. So it is a very beautiful city, but capitalism and corruption has changed the situation. It is not that. I mean, doesn't look beautiful as it should be.
Now, before we got on this call, you told me you were married and your family is back in Palestine. You're married, so you have a wife. Does your wife work, or what does she do?
My wife is not working. I mean, she has a lot to do with 4 kids. And
4 kids?
Yeah, I have two girls and 2 boys.
How old are they?
My eldest daughter is 16, and the youngest son is 3.5. So.
Wow. Does your daughter help your mom? Her mom?
Yeah, she's great. She do a good job. Yeah, today she can cook also. Today she made a beautiful plate, and he sent me a photograph. So she's a good girl. Because my wife is taking care also. She's very social. She is taking care about a lot of issues within the family. with her family and my family, and so my eldest daughter is helping out.
Wonderful. Okay, so you went to school and you decided to study in Germany. When did you start your studies in Germany?
Yeah, maybe let's stop on ending the school. The high school time, it was when the first Intifada started. And at that point, as a teenager, I realized a lot that there is an occupation. And I lost some of my friends and neighbors, and they were shot. And it was a terrible time as a teenager, just to not knowing about the situation, or you don't have that political education, and we are not taught to hate people. I mean, some propaganda saying that, but so we, as ordinary people and a youngster, the first Intifada was some kind of shock. I mean, I couldn't know how to deal with it very well. So my idea was to think, or to leave and get education so that I can pay something back to my homeland and the suffering. And I choose Germany. It was 1993 when I was in Germany, and before that I spent 1.5 years at the University of Jordan. But I wanted to go out, so I had that call that I wanted to discover the world, to discover myself, because as a kid I was always looking into the sky. So we didn't have internet that time, so I wanted to know what is behind the clouds. And yeah, this was always my wish. And yeah, Germany, I did my language course and preparation year, and started at the university. And I finished my university uh, beginning of year 2000. And yeah, and my first first working place was in Munich at Siemens.
How old were you when you left Palestine?
Yeah, when I left to Germany, it was I think 20. Yeah.
So you've been in Germany how many years?
17 years back. Yeah, 17 years. Then I spent, after I returned to Palestine, 10 years in Palestine, and now I'm back to Germany.
Now, when you went, before we go there, have you worked did you work in Germany before you go back to Palestine? Or did you go back to Palestine after you finished your studies?
No, I worked 8 years in Germany. Therefore, I have also the German citizenship. I worked 8 years after my graduation, and after that, I moved back to Palestine.
And how long was that when you got married, or did you get married before?
I got married before. I got married before, and my wife spent 6 years, around 6 years with me in Germany, and we have 2 kids. Our first two daughters. They were with us in Germany, and yeah.
Interesting. Now, when you were in Germany and a student, what were you studying?
I was studying electrical engineering, and yeah, with a focus on electrical drive and power electronics. But my work was not in that directly that specialty. I worked within the mobile networks industry as a technical project manager and a project engineer, and later with as a key account manager.
Are you frozen?
I am what?
It looks like you froze and you were not.
No, I answered the question about what I did study. It was not interesting because I wish I did something else. But that time when we go out to study, we knew only engineering and medicine and this stuff. So you just do what others have done before. But when I get to know myself more and get to know the world more, I recognize that I'm more philosophical, more humanistic, and not a technician. So I'm not an expert in any kind of technical stuff. So I would say I'm a spiritual researcher. I'm trying to combine spirituality and economics so that we have a better humanity.
Now, how do you combine spirituality and economics? Most people look at it and say spirituality has nothing to do with economics.
Yeah, this is the problem. This is the problem, that economics is not dealing with spirituality, and it's time to change that. I'm working on it because we have had a wrong understanding of wealth. So we thought wealth was something materialistic, but actually we are finding that is not working. It's not sustainable in any way, and is not fulfilling our longing to become good humans. So we don't have the operation system for good humanity because economics is lacking the spiritual aspect.
Okay, how can you combine spirituality to economics?
Yeah, it's new kind of economics. It's an economic where it's based on values that enrich our spiritual wealth. So we have to ask what spiritual wealth mean. Okay, and this is first a difficult question. Spiritual wealth is like you feel fulfilled as a human, and you have this like
No, it's not you. I've been really working a lot. Actually, I'm finding this very fascinating. Ignore the yawn.
Okay. I just want to make sure you are listening.
Believe me, I am, and you will hear from my questions that I am.
Yeah.
Plain spiritual economics to me.
Yes, and if there is something need to be changed in our human setup, it will be go new kind of politics or new kind of economics. Okay, and I found out it's easier to change the economic setup if we add spiritual values to that. And we humans, we know what is fulfilling us as a human. We need trust. I am alone now. Okay, I will wait for Carla. It's worth waiting.
I'm here.
Okay, you're back.
I'm not sure what happened at all. But
It's no problem at all. Doesn't matter. We continue. So we have like this core instinctive needs as a human, and we don't find them in the ordinary economic system. We don't find them in the ordinary social system, because our social system is very influenced by our economic setup. So and those aspects like trust, like compassion, like empathy, like collaboration, like empowerment each other, like symbiotic, that people looking after each other needs. So we miss all of these aspects in our social setup, and so my question is, what kind of economy or economic processes or set up as a space, an economic space, which kind of economic space can provide such kind of aspects where for us as a human, and we end the narrative of separation, because one of the most really damaging understanding that we are separated, and we spiritually we are connected. So we know science is proving that, and we feel with each other, but there's no way to express this feeling and to end this separation. So I give you an example. We Palestinians, we are physically separated from our homeland, but we are deeply connected to that homeland. So, but there is separation on one side, and there is connection on the other side, but this connection is not visible. And this interview, for example, making a connection visible. So how can an economy make connection visible? How can we make connections that they are good for planet and people? So and really to make this connection visible through integral economic processes. This is what my little understanding for spiritual economy.
I'm still a little confused. How do you define spirituality?
Yes, but I defined it in a way. We are spiritual agents of who are becoming masters of creation. So we are on a mission of becoming creator on this on this planet. So we have this connection to the divine or Allah or what others are calling. And there is this there is this power of creation of the universe, and we should have a connection to this power so that we are within this power. And this connection is spiritual. It cannot be in another way. And spirituality is looking after this connection and getting close of becoming part of this connection.
Okay. So is spirituality more important than the material world in which we live, in your mind?
Yes, sure. We are the material world is existing outside us, okay, and there is a universe inside us, and it is a matter of recognizing that universe inside you and reflected in the outside. So we are rich by code. We are coded as a human with that huge richness, and we have it all inside us, but we are not recognizing that. And when we start to recognize that, it will be kind of wealth, and we have it in us. And the outer world, the materialistic world, is a reflection of this inner world within. So if we figure out the beauty of ourselves as spiritual species, and we become it, we are loving this that, so we will see the beauty in the world, and we will love the world, and we will love each other. So it starts within you, and yeah, it is the most important. The materialistic world for me is very relative. So I don't identify myself with it. I identify myself with the feelings people have within each other, so within each other's hearts. So I will not be like happy if someone is not transcending good feelings and giving me materialistic gifts. So I don't need that materialistic gifts. I think the feeling we are transcending within each other are more important.
Okay. I have been running, as you know, a meetup for Palestinians and Israelis. We have been, somehow we can't get the Palestinians there. Can you help me understand what I can do to encourage them to be a part of this meeting?
I think there is you will have little chance to get Palestinians in a public meeting with Israelis. Even we as Palestinians, we have maybe friends and relationships with individuals in Israel, especially those are working in Israel and living there. But every Palestinian is representing Palestine, and he's representing his people. So we are carrying the pain of all Palestinians, and I have compassion with Jews, how they were, carrying this pain of being not accepted in different societies. So we are traumatized like Jews used to be. So maybe you can understand that a little bit more. But the difference is there is no one is taking care about Palestinians. I mean, we have formal leadership and here and there, but we are not feeling represented represented by those leaders. So every Palestinian is feeling that responsibility for his whole nation, but we are powerless. We cannot do anything with that feeling. So if I would go to a meeting, peace meeting with the Israelis, and I think about the millions are living in refugee camps and the kids and the sick people and the bad situation they have, and I'm carrying all of that on my shoulder as a Palestinian. So how can this fit in a room with Israelis and building peace? So they all should come and sit in the room. Then maybe I will join. If everyone will come and say, here we are, we want to speak with you, then maybe I will come. But I will not do it without having my nation and my people in my background.
So how would you do it if it was to happen?
It will not happen. It cannot happen. It can happen only after we Palestinians have found each other and get together. So we will have then a way to we will have our way to find peace in the world, and then we will talk with ever whom we want to talk. And this is, for me, it is a priority as a Palestinian that my people get together and help each other, and then there is a balance in the relationship with Israelis. So imagine, a very powerful state with huge resources and very, very scientific and very advanced in all fields, and they want to get all the things they want to. And we are separated individuals. So they have managed to make us like the new Jews, okay? But this will be changing. I mean, it cannot be an end here. And they are bargaining a lot that they have it under control, but you cannot vanish a nation. And if it's possible to vanish a nation, then it would have been possible to vanish Jews. But I mean,
let's not get into that, okay?
Yeah.
We're getting a little far into it. But I do want to ask you, the essence of our lives is our breath, correct?
I didn't get that.
We are on this earth because we all are breathing in and we breathe out, correct?
Yes.
And we do it throughout every day of our life, or we're not alive, correct? Now, this issue would be, I would also ask an Israeli this question. If we're agreeing that this is true, that we're breathing in and out our lives, do you think that the breath you're breathing today could be the breath an Israeli in South America was breathing the day before.
Yeah, I mean, we are gifted by life, and
so if we're gifted by air and people being able to breathe in and out, why wouldn't we be gifted by people who are staying home in their little shack, wherever it may be, because we all share the basic thing that is our life, and that's the air we breathe.
yes, I mean, I love this picture, but we are not, I mean, we are some kind of victims of
Oh, you said victim. Are we victims, or are things happening for us to grow stronger?
I mean, we should realize both. I mean, first, we should realize that we are victim of politics of separation and nationalism and separating people and having power over them and trying to control people and so that we are not allowed to gain the power to the source of the source of power. So there must be always some power over people that they are not really connected to the source of power and empower themselves. And this is one problem. Yes, there is a systemic issue here. And when we realize this systemic issue, we know that we have a challenge to grow and solve the systemic issue together. And this is happening. I'm glad this is happening. I'm observing a movement of growth within humanity the last 15 years. And if we are agree that there is a radical change need to take place and is taking place, and then we are then moving it forward, then and we see new future where we are brothers and sisters and not enemies. And I don't think that the people want any nation want a war. We people don't want any war. I mean, wars are made in our names, but we didn't choose that.
Okay. Having said that, why is there so much separation in the world?
Yeah, it is an emergency question. We are growing in
No. I'm saying in the world in general. It's not American. It's not Palestinian.
I'm not saying American. I say emergency.
Listen to me. Listen to the question.
Okay.
Because you're staying in Palestine and Israel. And I'm saying globally, throughout the world, there's a division. Why does that exist? If we're all essentially the same thing and full of the same thing, why does there need to be such division?
Yeah, there is many reasons. One of them are the teachings we used to have. We are so.
No, stop for a moment. Every religion or every spiritual teaching doesn't recognize any division. We're all part of one being. We're all part of one of the breath, and the breath belongs to everyone.
No, if this is the case, then we would have a different reality. But I'm sorry, this is not the case. if
Well,
there,
I agree with you. It's not the case. I'm asking you, how can we make a bridge between the two different ways of thinking?
You know, you can't do it that easy in the political, economic, and social setup we have now. We cannot do it very easy. That bridges between people. There is no infrastructure of connectedness. How can?
No, wait a minute. I know that. But how can we change it so that infrastructure begins to grow? And from conversations we had before, it appears you have a way of doing that.
Yes, I have been searching for almost 20 years for an answer, and I had that big vision of ending this separateness and division.
How?
Between,
okay. Instead of saying I've been thinking about it for many years, how do you want to resolve it?
Okay, you think
give me the answer.
Okay, the answer is in creating new kind of economics that ending this thing, and how to do that in particular is a project. So it is a new enterprise, a new planet enterprise that is having the setup with a new kind of mechanism to end this separateness. And I have my way for doing that, and I'm working on presenting a project which goes in this direction.
Good. It's important because we're not all that different from each other. We all want to be happy, we all want to be peaceful, and we all want to be joyous.
Yes, these new solutions, they are integral, that they are helping everyone, because we are unified in a way. We are human, we function the same, we know each other's pain, we know each other's needs, and we are unified in that sorrow of the world and that pain. And if there is any solution which is dealing with this sorrow in the world, and I mean, people will adapt it and they will feel very identified with it.
So my question is, what is your solution?
Yeah, you bring me to talking.
Okay, your solution, because that's everyone putting in their own solution.
Yeah,
make that happen.
I will tell you. Okay, I haven't said that on the air before, because I didn't feel that I'm ready to speak about it. I found a market gap, so a business gap, which is dealing with building economics between natives living abroad and their local economies. And there is an entropy. There is a lot of energy there, where people are living in the West and in rich countries, but they come from poor countries, and they know the problems they have in their countries and their local economies. And so my idea is to build a bridge of local economy driven by natives living abroad. And if this model as a study case, if it works in one place, in one country, so we can then build a generic solution with all local economies connected with their natives abroad, then this connection with homeland is covered by a new type of economics, and the products are emerging through this connection can be gathered in one market space, and it is a grassroots and solidarity economy market space, and it will build a movement from bottom up so that marginalized local economies are driven with this market space, and then we will have like a kind of new economic power of people and planet if the products are ethical and everything is transparent and based on trust, and you see the impact and you connect consumers with the producers and make all these features that this connection is taking place, then you have something which is solving the problem.
I still haven't heard anything very concrete.
Mm-hmm.
I want a concrete, very strong, we are going to do 1, 2, and 3, and that will change. But you're talking in very, very, can't think of the word, very abstract terms instead of very concrete terms, very clear terms.
Yeah, if we want to go concrete, then it will be a longer presentation, and
you can say your concrete idea.
Yeah, it is about building new kind of grassroots and solidarity economics between natives living in.
You still haven't told me.
Okay.
The concrete plan.
So my concrete.
Is it concrete yet, or are you still formulating it? It's okay either way.
Yeah, I won't now tell the details because
you don't need to tell.
Yeah.
Let's say we were talking about a horse, and someone says, "Oh, a horse has 2 long legs, and you can ride it." That doesn't go into very concrete details, but you know something about a horse. Do you have anything concrete that you can say without going into details, because it's getting late, that you can leave our audience thinking, he has a good idea. I may connect with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Honestly, Carla, I have a concrete.
Then tell me.
Okay.
Very short. It could be the horse has a long mane or a long tail. You don't need to go into all the details, but just 1 or 2 so people can think about it and say, I think I want to talk to him because he has something to offer.
Okay, well, the way I'm going to do that, I will use the Palestinian situation. No. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think that I can answer your question.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I was hoping you could, but I don't want you to go into Palestinian and Israeli. Can't do that.
Yeah, no. Okay, then.
No, you can't. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I understand, but I had to stop you before we got into that world. because we don't do it here. But I do want to thank you for coming and speaking to me. I hope you enjoyed speaking to me tonight.
Yes, yeah, I enjoyed it so much, and I it's empowering me as well to speak out. I'm not used to that. I never did that before, and had a lot of pressure and blockings and trauma of speaking about my life and about my situation. But I'm getting now better in having the confidence to speak and talk. And I appreciate to have this chance with you.
You're welcome. Believe it or not, you've been talking. We have been talking 51 minutes now. And most of the talking was you. So you should feel really confident. And again, I want to thank you for speaking with me. And I want to thank the audience who watched. And don't go anywhere. We're going to end the show now. We're going to wave goodbye after remembering that this show is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace, one conversation at a time. Let's wave goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day, night, or morning.